Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
I'm Carl.
How is it going today, Carl?
Well, it's going okay. It's a lovely day.
Lovely
The
day.
cherry tree is in full blossoms. So that's actually kind of nice sitting here looking at that. So that's it. Thanks, everyone. No.
Oh, wow. What's the word? Just to make sure you heard the whole show. Cherry
Yes,
blossom.
cherry blossoms.
No, we're still here, people. We're still here.
Yeah,
Carl,
it's fine. Like the weekend was okay. 300 bucks about just under, which used to be good, and now it's just like, it's funny how quickly
yeah.
that happens, right?
That's funny, eh?
So now with the laser discs, I'm at the point where I'm making the title list. So I actually did use ChatGPT for that, where I took a video of me flipping through all the laser discs and then had it make me a title list. And it was about 70% accurate about that. And so obviously with 70%, 30% still was incorrect, but it still was useful. But I had to, edit the list. So, but it was a lot faster than if I had to do it manually. So, yeah, the market was fine. I had like a lot of sales, but they're all like almost all under 20 bucks. So, but my Facebook ad worked again. Someone came in and bought, I think 70 bucks or 80 bucks worth of laser discs from the ad.
Yeah.
And he was visiting people in the area from Toronto and saw the ad. So, that Facebook ads work. I hate to say it, but they do.
Well,
I don't hate to say it.
It kind of just emphasized the idea that there's still a demand out there for laser discs.
Yeah, for a friend of mine. You know what? Remember I was talking about the Nostalgia Warehouse? That's where I first had my little glass booth. So I got a message on Facebook Marketplace last night saying, "Does your mom know you're peddling dirty magazines?" And I know Chris, but I didn't know his last name. And of course, the picture on the Facebook is like, you can't tell who the hell it is, right? So, but anyways, I eventually realized it was him. But he was looking for he was actually looking for laser discs too, because he collects them. So it's kind of funny. So there's demand out there, but I would like to get more. I should pursue it, but I'm not. In my Facebook ad though, I do say I buy as well. But no one's ever contacted me with that.
Yeah, I think the key is content.
Yes, horror is number one. Some people like the music, like if it's a concert or something.
Yeah.
And then science fiction,
Yeah, science fiction would be good too.
Yeah.
But horror is crazy, eh? Like they're insane.
Yeah, I know horror, but yeah, horror is definitely it. It's VHS too, like you've talked about before.
Yeah.
DVDs. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah,
so anyway,
I haven't.
Yeah, it's fine.
I haven't really seen laser discs. Just once, long time ago, but there was no horror in there, and that was. But I don't. They're not common to see.
No, I don't think so. And I don't think there's like a ton of collectors. It's just that I fresh inventory to a market where people are probably searching for those keywords, right? So, but yeah, now I'm at the point where it's like I still have tons. I still have probably 200 at least, but now it's all the second tier stuff, like Pretty Woman and stuff like that, right? Where not necessarily huge demand, but I can't complain. But now I'm putting less emphasis on that. And I was going through my penthouse because I need to get rid of these magazines, otherwise they're going to be here for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So, these issues are runs in the like year 1998, 2000, that. So I'm just putting them in 12 year runs, and I'm going to try and sell them at the market, kind of not well displayed, and just have a sign saying penthouse for runs, and then for the run I'll charge $50 or $60, something like that, and see how it goes. But they won't be in prime spot because I don't think there's a huge demand. And if nothing sells after 6 months, then I'll Facebook Marketplace them for $20 or something.
Yeah.
But I'll try at least,
Yeah. They're a tough sell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know this is what I was told, that the 60s and 70s and 80s, they were, when I first started, they were telling me that the Playboys for that time frame, mostly women were buying them because of the hairdos and the fashion. I don't know how true that is, but
Well, for me, it was true. Like I'd say 2 out of the 3 people who've actually bought them from me in the booth were women and
yeah,
young women.
yeah. So that's what they were saying.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, is it because we bought them for the articles? Is that
Well, like I said, the joke isn't not true in those old ones. It is 99% article and
it
1%
is.
other.
Yeah.
Right. But I did see like on Max Sold a run of the Playboys, which included the first African American cover.
Yep.
That sold for $90, or was selling for $90.
Oh my God! I sold that for $10 back in when I first started.
For the run. Yeah, for the run.
Oh,
now I don't know what it actually got. I just knows it because it was like, oh look, I know that one because that's one I pulled to the side because I know it's worth more, right?
yeah.
And then for the Penthouse ones, they do sell on eBay. The problem is magazines weigh so much, and when you're talking about a run, you're over 5 kilograms, and then the price for shipping destroys any of the profit. Like no one's going to pay that amount of shipping.
Yeah.
So even if there's no tariffs, it's frustrating because you can see, you'll see things go for $70, $80, $90 for those runs, but the shipping they're paying down there might be $20, right? As opposed to 50, 60 or even more here to ship it. So it's like, there's a weird thing where it's like, yeah, you get more, but the shipping kind of eats up all that profit kind of thing. So
yeah.
I'm not spending a lot of time because like for me to make a 12 run is easy because I just take them out of the box, right? And most of them are in order. So it's not like a lot of work. But so I've been working on that. I don't know
do you
what the
feel
hell
like,
else I'll be doing. But.
Do you feel like the amount that you're going to get back out of that is kind of a waste of the time you're putting into it?
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
But I want to give them a chance. I'll give them a chance,
Yeah. The problem is that all that time you're putting in, and what do you sell? Maybe 50% of what you put together.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right. So it's almost really, you're putting in double the time because you're selling half of what you're doing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the only defense is there's not any work with this, right? Because it's like they're already ordered. I basically put them in bags.
Yeah.
Put them in a box, and then put the box in the bad inventory area, like the lowest of the. It's not going to be on main display, especially with Penthouse, and that's the only work. So that's like what maybe 10 minutes of work.
But you're lugging them.
Lugging is an issue. Yeah,
you're moving them. You're scrolling through them. You're looking them up.
Spending half an hour browsing them.
Just package them to ship them, right? Like,
yeah, I definitely don't want to ship. Well,
no, but I'm just saying if you're listing them and shipping them and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm just saying, like,
oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about bringing them into the booth, but you were talking about actually eBaying them. Yeah, yeah,
right. Like,
I pretty well dismissed eBaying them pretty quick.
Okay.
Because it's just the magazine's way too much. The bottom line is that, right?
Yeah.
Especially after you add the Eddie padding and the box, and you're over 5 kilograms for 12 issues, right? So, and then once in Canada, once you reach over that 5, I think it jumps. We're no longer talking $25. We're talking 50, 60, 70, I think. Because I don't like shipping stuff that big, or I would have to use the reshippers, and in that case, then I got to deal with their, I don't even know how to deal with the HS codes for all that, right? So it's like it's just not worth it, right? for that same 50 or 60 bucks, which is going to be like what, 20 bucks a profit, 30 bucks a profit if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I could, just like you said, I could spend that time elsewhere, and I should.
Right.
So, but at the same time, is this awkward thing with, it's not like they're worthless, right? So I just wanted to throw them out.
Yeah. You want to kind of recoup some profit out of there, but it's a juggle. It
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right. Like, yeah. So the bottom line is, you're right. It is an awkward kind of in betweener. It's like audio tapes are the same way. Before we got the cheaper shipping in Canada, because an audio tape weighs more, like a blank cassette tape weighs more than you think, and so it would reach these thresholds in the shipping,
Yeah.
and it was hard to make a profit. But they fixed that at some point where they lowered our cost for shipping, and that made a big difference. And audio tapes are still great. I sold some for $100 this week, so you can't complain if you find good ones. So,
Right.
so yeah, that's my exciting news for the week.
Did you do any picking, or you
No,
just no?
I got so much stuff, and I really don't want to put more in my house now because it will. I know it'll just sit.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to get to the back part of it because you're dealing with the front part of it, type thing.
Yeah, I think like in a week or so they're doing the one in Orleans where I live.
Yeah.
The community. I'll do that one
Okay.
because it's right here, obviously. And I might go to some of the villages this week because I want to go to IKEA because they have these kind of like these little lights that you can clamp onto things, and I want to get more lighting in the booth. So I'll get
Oh,
4 or 5 of these lights to put along my top rail
yeah.
and just make it a little more interesting. I think they're $20 each, so they're not nothing, but they're not like, you know,
Right. $100, and you probably got what you need.
5. Yeah. So, and that would make thing, and I mean that's been on my list for a long time.
Yeah.
So if I have to go to IKEA, that's in the west side of the city. I'll do a Value Village run at the same time.
Did you check Amazon to see if there's anything cheaper?
They're cheap. They're more expensive there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
Yeah.
you know what's stupid is Amazon, IKEA charges you for pickup. So like you can order things and go to the store and pick them up.
Yeah.
They actually charge you for that. I've never seen that before. You think they'd be happy you're coming to buy their stuff? I guess not.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
anyway,
so they have to hire a guy to run around and grab the stuff.
I
You know,
guess.
it can be time consuming though. Like you're only buying a little bit of lights. So imagine if you were buying like furnishing a well, you got a point too. Like they're still making money on what they buy. But I'm thinking like say they're buying like I don't know, a bedroom set or something. You know what I mean? Like
I
someone
guess.
just
But
got an
all that stuff
apartment.
yeah. Like, I'm not saying there's not work, but that's kind of like running a store is
Yeah.
doing that anyways, really. But who knows?
Yeah. Well, their business model might be
They have a monopoly here. IKEA purposely only usually puts one store in a city.
yeah.
Uh, so they got us.
So,
Not that I'm complaining. It's $5. I'm so cheap I'm not gonna pay the $5.
oh,
I'll just go to I'll go through the labyrinth of IKEA and figure out what the hell these things are with their like codes, like the 8-digit codes, and try and figure out, make sure I
yeah.
get the right color, and I can handle that.
And I mean, lights are one thing. You can't get them. But I'm like, people should just go to their local antique store and buy furnitures and stuff. Because it might have little dings and dents, but it's character. But at the same time, I think the furniture is so much nicer. Like, I mean, it's just a matter of taste, I guess. But I think antique, like, not all antique furniture, but primitives and the older stuff, it can look really good, especially in a brand new home. You know what I mean?
IKEA I always saw as like where you go when you get your first apartment.
I don't know, dude. They got some pretty freaking expensive stuff. And it
Yeah.
looks good. Like, I'm not putting it down, but then you got to put it all together and everything. So, um, I just think that if you go to an antique store, you can find some really good furniture. Go to an auction.
Oh, they give it away. Yeah.
right? Like you can find some good pieces. So the right auction, just don't go to an auction because it's an auction, but you can usually find some good old pieces, especially in antique stores. But
Anyways,
um,
yeah, like not to talk about lighting, but it makes a difference in the booth. It grabs attention.
yes, yes,
So that,
yeah, lighting is huge difference for sure, for sure. So I have to, because we're an old building. I have to, when I juggle my store around, I'm always making sure I'm not blocking out the light. You know, and a
yeah.
lot of my light comes from the windows, which are large windows. It was an old warehouse back in the 1800s. Um, so you don't want to block that light because it's really going to darken the stuff on the other side. You know what I mean? Because it's not
Mhm.
coming down, it's coming at you. So lighting's huge for sure.
Yeah, it's not dark where I am. Like we have big fluorescent lights, but it's good for. There's gonna always gonna be some dark spots no matter what, and it
Oh yeah,
highlights
for
things,
sure.
and it highlights, so it grabs attention. So
Yep.
yeah,
Um,
it's been on my list for a while. Well, oh, the other thing I did is I put up my comic book corner. Finally started selling this last weekend,
yeah,
so that was good too.
good.
Yeah,
Now go back to the lights though for a second.
yeah,
Are they plugins or are they
plugins. So I've
so?
used. Sorry, go ahead.
No, do they have some sort of restriction on, like, before you go home, you have to unplug them, that kind
Yes.
of thing,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you're going to be running cable.
Well, it's okay. I already have that kind of setup where I unplug
Okay.
every weekend for. I only have a couple. Like I have power on my desk,
Yeah.
and so I already do that anyways. So it's not. I might forget, but they just. I don't think I'd like you talking about breaking the breaker. Like these are LED lights I'm getting to,
Yeah.
so it shouldn't be an issue, and I'll worry about it
No, I
when I
was
get.
thinking more of like running wire, like extension cords around and all that kind of
I
stuff.
can hide that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll see. I'm not sure. Like I have been thinking about that.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? But there's a back rail, right, and it's high up, so I could run a extension cord along that back rail, and unless you're 6'2", you never see it, right? So uh, other people do it.
Yeah. I know we have a rule, and I don't know if it's a bylaw. I think it might actually be like a code, um, like a fire safety code or something. But if I have a lamp, I can plug that lamp in with a direct, like if the lamp is directly plugged in on a thing. But if I run an extension cord, that cannot be plugged in overnight.
Okay.
The extension cord lighting up, and then I plug the lamp into the other end of the extension cord, that's not considered direct. So I think that's a fire code, maybe, but I don't know.
Are you
That's
going to rat
that's what
me
the
out?
owner said told us. So because I had run extension cords, and they said I can't do that.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have the similar code.
I don't know if I'll have to look at my what I've agreed to and signed.
Yeah. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Usually.
But unless you burn the whole building down, Carl.
Well, then they'll never know.
Well, they might. Well, it came from this booth. It appears that it was like an extension cord plugged into the socket,
Act of
running
God. Act of
15, 15
God.
little LED lights.
Wow. Scott's going to rat me out. He's going to drive
Not,
all the way there.
I'm preparing you, dude.
And I don't even have the lights yet. He's ready to rat me out.
I don't rat anyone out. I'm cautioning you. You do you, but you know,
You've been warned, Carl.
you've been warned.
Jesus.
Uh, anyway, there we go, Carl. Now you're just.
Wow.
Last week we got y'all paranoid about scamming people, and then this week it's like fire prevention week.
Oh, I'm not worried about scamming people anymore. I've opened a few of those Lego sets that are not complete. So
Yeah, of course not. If it's not, sealed, there's
it's
it's
a huge
probably
difference. Yeah.
right. But that doesn't matter. I mean, you probably still did very well.
Oh, I did very well. No, I'm not. No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good. I'm just you're talking about work. You know, everything I have now is not everything, but a lot of the stuff I have now is more of the work. It's like Lego sets. You got to count it. The what was the other example? Freak, it's right out of my head. God damn it. Anyway, it's just like everything is now, or comics. That's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
To be comped. It's like everything is not just here's the thing, put it up, right? Like
It's not.
you know,
The thing about the now I don't know how you do it, but how I would do the Legos is honestly just because of the time to put in it. And I'm not telling you to do it, and I'm probably doing it wrong, but I don't like to put a lot of time in it. I will Google that set and I'll find parts and anything that's worth money, I will sell individually or lot up. And then the rest of the regular Lego, I'm going to sell by the pound. So I dump it into a bin and I would do that with each set. And then I would sell the Lego by the pound. Sometimes if I get really ambitious, I'll separate the colors. I have done that. I don't do that anymore, but I have done that. So you get all blue Lego, all yellow, all red, whatever. But um, rather than trying to figure out what pieces are missing, which is damn near impossible without putting the thing together. So
yeah. So my plan, that's excellent advice, and that's how I'm gonna do it. The only difference is when I have the boxes for most of this stuff. Not
yeah,
everything, but most of it. Like you said, I'm gonna check the comps on that particular set. If that particular set is worth like 100 or 150,
yeah.
I'll take the time. So, for example, the set I checked last night was only worth like $15 or $20. So that one probably, like I looked, it's obviously not complete. That was the lot, I put it to the side. But the other ones, if it's worth money, then I'll do it, right? But
Well,
you know,
I listened to our show, and here's what I thought you had a great opportunity to do. That lady said that the son had talked about keeping the pirate ship one or something, right?
yeah,
You estimated that to be about $300.
yeah,
You were at 500. I would have said I'll you can have that back if your son requests it, that's fine. But now I have to drop my offer to 300. And you know what you just did if she accepted that? You just sold your Legos back to her for $200. If it's worth 3, you get 30% loss on the take. You just sold it for $200.
yeah. That's a good point.
Back to the person that you bought it from 30 seconds ago. So I would have took I don't know if I would have thought that quickly on the feet, but when
Yeah,
I
it's
worked,
because there's no way. I'm thinking that I was thinking that's good, but my brain does not work that fast in that situation.
but
Like
imagine that.
it goes
Yeah,
like
okay,
error.
if he wants it, but I for all these, I'm at $300. And if she agreed, she might have agreed to that because well, for some reason he wants this one back. You're right. This is a $400 set, but I'm now down because you could have now increased the value of that. Now I'm down to 300 for everything else. You just sold her knowing that it's really 300. You just sold it back to her for $200, which is what you would have got out of it anyway.
Assuming she would give me back 200. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's too complicated. That's good. Good advice, but
And I'm like,
I don't think I think we would be very all confused at the end of that. But yeah,
I wouldn't have been.
I would have been.
Yeah, but if you would have confused her, well, I'm down for 300 for all this. That's a good piece. I understand that your son wants it. It makes sense. But I'm down to 300 for the rest of this. And you can have that one back.
It's funny. I'm just proud of myself for not like just doing what she said and giving it back for nothing. Right.
Well,
I
I
was like,
wouldn't give
no,
it
I
back for
want
nothing.
this. I want
Right?
this.
But
But part of me too is like he had his chance, right?
yeah.
It's like, okay, I warned in advance before I got there. I said it while I was there. He had
Yeah.
every opportunity in the world to do it. It's like, no, it's too late. You don't get a third try. Yeah, it's like,
But How
Yeah.
good would you have felt if you just sold that Lego for $200?
Yes.
Cash, like right to her.
I have mixed feelings on that whole thing. So
In what
I
way?
sold another wrinkle dog the other day, by the way.
Oh wow, dude. Well, 2 years later,
I know, right? Only
and then
3,722 to go. Yeah.
but
It's funny.
that would have been a classic play, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I have mixed feelings on that because she had other potential stuff and I feel that that's not going to happen, but right now as I have my tower of bins next to me,
yeah.
I'm not too worried.
No, no, no. I just thought that would have been a classic play to
Yeah.
sell it back to the initial
Good
seller
thought. Yeah.
for 200, which is your max anyways after commissions and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
right?
And then wouldn't have to count it.
And she's just thinking, well, he's giving me 300 for it now. You know, like in her mind, she wouldn't even see it that way. But in your mind, it's totally that way. Right?
Yeah.
If you're giving that back to her, but now taking it from 5 to 3, you really just sold it back to her for 200.
No, that's a good point.
That would have been a classic play.
It would have been a
But
story. Another story.
yeah, I don't know if I would have thought about it at that time, but I thought about it pretty quickly when I was listening to it. I just didn't think about it when we talked about it, so that makes me wonder if I would have even thought about that at all. But anyway, there you go.
Yeah. When I'm there, I remember like when I went back because it was when I went back to give her back the bins that happened.
Yeah,
And I just remember just like, oh, be quiet, talk slow, take your time on this and think
yeah,
it through. And it actually worked for once for me in that situation because it's an awkward situation, right?
yeah.
So, so how's your week?
It's pretty slow. It rained here. It rained Saturday, yesterday. So my uncle passed away a couple months ago, and he would have been my mom's brother. His wife had called me, which is my aunt, um, and asked if I'd come and just take a look at a few things because she's they're selling the house and she's moving in with one of her kids, her daughters. So she's just said that because my mom was over visiting her, and she said my mom told her that I would help her out if she had any questions on things. So she had a few questions about just values and what she should do with it. So anyway, so I went and did that yesterday. We had a storm here. My alarm on my phone for tornado warning was
Oh
going
yeah.
off. It must have went off 10, 12, 15 times, dude.
Oh wow.
Like we're sitting there talking at the kitchen table and it just kept going off. Sometimes like within 30 seconds, I clear it, it would just keep going off. Her phone went off twice. So anyways, I get home and Steph's like, there's a high end, it's called Brywood. It's really close to our house, but it's all organic. It's all fresh vegetables and meats and all this kind of stuff. It costs a little more, but it's really good fresh stuff. And they had car windows popping out. Like a few windows, like a few cars, the windows popped out, like
From the pressure.
from the pressure.
Oh wow.
And Steph said, like, she looked outside and it was like, it seemed to turn nighttime over like within seconds. And she said her daughters called, they went down to the basements and everybody was kind of freaked out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I told her, I said, you don't need to panic until you start seeing animals fly by the house. And then that's time to go in the
You see the Wicked Witch fly by and
basement.
yeah.
But just go stand outside with a metal umbrella.
Yeah,
Tell me how bad it is. But anyway, so people were pretty serious, but I guess there was a couple little tornadoes that touched down around here. So anyways, I was an hour away.
Yeah, we
And
get them
it got
sometimes.
windy and wet, but
Yeah, we get tornadoes. Like they have destroyed a few houses around here.
yeah.
It seems so unbelievable because they seem very like touch one little spot, take out a house, and then like disappear again. And
Yeah, just yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like they're going through like along a line and destroying everything in its path like it does.
Well, I remember in the 70s, we had one come from Woodstock all the way through Waterford. Like it was a bad tornado. It went the whole distance, and quite a long ways. And it was big. It was a big deal. Like it pretty much took out like half of Waterford, which would have been half the size it is now. But there was a lot of damage. And my dad worked for the city, the Norfolk, so I guess the county, but um, water sewer mechanic is for the town, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was out there a lot, but he said it was really, strange to see what was going on. But they even have booklets you can see. Probably if you Googled it, you could find photos. But outside of that, like we don't really get too many like tornadoes. They do like it's like you said, they touch down, they take a roof off a barn or something, right? But
I remember when I was first started selling, I was at Valley Village, and I found like the white box D&D, which is like my holy grail kind of thing at the time.
yeah,
And we're in the store and we get that tornado warning, and I'm holding this thing and I haven't bought it yet. And I said, I don't care if that thing is hitting this building. I'm buying this thing before I go. I'm not putting it back. So
I remember you telling me that story.
that's burnt in my head. Yeah.
Yeah, stubborn, eh? The well, that's why I bought my truck, the Chevy, is because if you ever watch the commercial where it gets picked up by a tornado and the guy lands and he still drives it away, you know. But I don't know, dude. Like sometimes you be driving. Like I remember driving sometimes there was tornado warnings, and I swear there were like the way the trees were bending and twisting in the rain and everything. Like you know, you swear there's a tornado going on, right? But
Well, we've all experienced driving along and all the car, some of your car shifts over.
yeah,
A big
yeah,
gust like pushes you, and that's a truck or a car, right? It's
yeah,
not light. So I couldn't imagine, and that's just like normal driving, like nothing, not necessarily a storm, just a big gust of wind, right?
yeah,
I can't imagine what other things do. But
yeah.
anyways, yeah.
But imagine being a storm chaser.
Yeah, no, that seems suicidal to me. But
That just seems weird. And they'll have the tornado, which looks like a mile or two ahead of them, and they're like just standing there filming it, dude. I'm like hightailing it out of there, dude. I'm
yeah,
not gonna sit there and film it and wait for it to come at me. But I guess they kind of have an idea what direction it would be going and stuff. But you only got to be wrong once.
right.
You know, I was 99% correct. But today I'm in heaven because I was one out of 100 times I was wrong once. But anyway, oh well. Anyway, so what's going on, Carl? Anything
What
else?
else?
I sales were pretty good actually. Sales were pretty good at the booth. Not, I mean, they're just doing their own thing on eBay, whatever. But the booth was pretty good. I sold four masks
Oh,
in
good.
the 45, 45, 40, and 35, something like that. I didn't sell the $150 one yet, but I sold a $125 sword.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so one of the swords sold. That was their first weekend, so we'll see what happens this week. But
No, that's great. So you got a good chunk back at least.
yeah, I got it. Well, it started. It's a start, right? So
Like
I
like the
I
masks,
just put what's that?
like the masks. What was that? Like I didn't count, but 130 you got back about at this point. So you said about
Between
that.
the mass or the sword and the mass.
Just this. Well, you for
So
the
let's say
mask.
45, 45. So there's 90, another 40. So there's 130, 65 minus commissions. I'm about 130, 120
Right.
back on the mass. The sword, that's another 125. So let's say $100 back on the sword,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. That's good.
So we're
Hey, at
looking at
least it's selling,
200.
right?
$225 roughly back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when things don't sell, you're like,
Yeah, no, I know the swords would sell. I know some of the masks will sell. But we'll just have to play it out. So I went in yesterday because I was going to see my aunt. So I made a stop at the booth and I threw in a few more masks, mainly just to replace the ones that had left, and put in some more items. I put in the records. I finally put those records in.
yeah.
So we'll see how they do. I mean, there's a couple of them. Like there's I put $30 like on them. So we'll see what happens, right? So
Yeah, I sell records up to $30, maybe 35 sometimes. A
yeah.
lot of them are in that $20 range, $25 range, but
Well, there's a Mega Death one. I think I put 45 or $50 on it.
yeah.
If it was in much better condition, I'd probably put it online because some of them are going for $100+ for the Mega Death. But there's a little bit of wear on the cover, and the record was actually pretty clean. Was good. So I mean, if you're a record collector, could you say you're going to find issues? Possibly, but as far as I'm concerned, it was clean. You know what I mean? So again, you're paying $50 or $45 as opposed to 100+. You know, so it is
Yeah.
what it is. But so yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm pretty confident. You know, the mask might take a little longer, but I think the swords and the records get your money back pretty quick, and we'll just play it out with the masks. They're not taking up much room. I have them against the wall on a shelf that actually fits perfectly for them. They're a little higher than I'd like, but regardless, but I can put stuff on the shelf in front of them too. So they're a backdrop, but I can't put things high in front of them to block them, but I can still utilize that shelf so they're not completely destroying that area. You know what I mean? If they're not selling, I can put stuff in front too, right? So,
Yeah, it's the same with my comics. It's like I don't want anything on the wall to get damaged, so they're above the comics, but I have all that back. Normally it'd be really hard to put things on the wall above the comics,
yeah,
where you're browsing through, but comics are great for the wall. And obviously when they sell, now I have like 4 blank spots that I will definitely fill up again, right? So it's once you're set up like that, then it's easy to continual replenishment, right?
yeah.
Masks, obviously, you're not going to replenish forever, but you have some at home you can put there, obviously. So, no, it's good.
Every now and then I get this just this gut punch because I start seeing things that have been there for a bit, right? And it's kind of like do I want to keep doing this? You know what I mean?
Doing what?
Like I've had this many times before. So it's just a feeling, but it's more of throwing it out there to see if other people feel. But it's just like sometimes you just feel defeated because there's some things that just should have sold and they're just sitting there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I think you've even mentioned that you've had it too. Like sometimes you're like, is this worth me coming out here on Sundays?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Well, like I said, I'm just trying to get to minimum wage. Like, that's my goal,
Yeah.
which is not a high goal, right? But,
It's just,
I get that too.
it's just a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
Right.
Yeah.
So trust me, I'm not thinking of stopping it. It's just one of those, you just kind of sit back and and then other days I just love it. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying, I kind of had one of those days yesterday. I'm just kind of looking around. I'm like,
you're going to have that. You have
yeah,
that with everything.
yeah,
Stuff you love, right?
yeah. But it was just one of those days yesterday where I'm just like, I don't know. The booth.
If you ask yourself the purpose of things, eventually the answer is like, none of this really matters, right?
Yeah.
So
well,
you have to enjoy the moment, which
that's
is
probably more it than anything, Carl.
Yeah.
That's probably more it than anything. Like, am I wasting not just time, but am I wasting my life? You know what I mean? Like that's fun. That's funny you say that, and I'm curious to hear other people comments on this too. But do you ever sometimes like feel like, am I just going through the motions in life? Like, is there more to life than what I'm doing? Like, what the heck? You know what I mean?
Yes, that's deeper than I
That's
can
pretty deep, but
ever.
I mean, it's easily quashed by a coffee and a drive, or a couple of beers and a strip club. I don't know. I'm just making that up, but I'm just saying. But it still does cross your mind from time to time, right?
I do think enjoying the moment is important, right? Because if you sit there and analyze like I do, eventually you realize, well, there's no point to anything because eventually we die and
Yeah,
nothing matters.
and then nothing matters. No.
So even if you have children, do you think you're going to remember just as much as you remember your great great grandparents?
Oh, there's no question about that. I'm
Right?
not
Where
talking
most people
about.
have no idea who they even are, let alone think
Yeah,
about them. Right? So that's
yeah,
life. But you know, I'll let everyone do their own philosophy about what's next.
yeah.
So,
But it's just,
but I go through that too, like all
yeah,
the time. Like, for Sunday for the booth, I give up, for example, a lot of Max sold auctions where the pickups are on Sundays, right? I can't even buy from those auctions. And I miss opportunities sometimes because there's good stuff on Sundays, right? And what am I missing it? Why am I missing that pickup? So I can drive 2 hours and then make less than minimum wage? Like, it doesn't make sense. But also, I know that after that day, and it tires me out that day, right? But being social and meeting people, it makes me feel good for at least a day or two. So that, there's more benefits than just the potential monetary ones. So I keep that in mind too. So,
well, you could probably get that type of fix if you enrolled into a retirement home, Carl.
well,
Now I've really got you into a depression.
yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just kidding you,
sometimes you have to
Carl.
be forced to do something, right? Like,
Yeah,
I could say, well, I'll get rid of the booth and I'll just go down to the market. No, I won't. If I'm not forced to, like, I might think I will, but I won't,
yeah,
and I'll miss all the people. So yeah, there's value there too. But
yeah. I think too, when you start, like, I think you have to be respectful when you go to people's homes, and I think for the most part I have been when someone has passed away. I don't. I know there's a business element, and I can't get emotional either. I have to keep my business element, or I'm going to be failing there. However, when the last couple of weekends was dealing with family, like, I think that kind of plays a little bit more of a tug on things. You know what I mean? Because you're seeing family, people you care about, going through the process. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And maybe that's just kind of had me reflect a little bit on it. It's just, you know, like even my aunt said, like, if there's anything here that can help you, like, just, feel free. And I'm like, I don't get involved. I don't, I so happy to be able to help you out and try to steer you in a direction I think is right. But I I couldn't buy my uncle's stuff and try to make a profit out of it.
it's too risky.
It's not even risk. Like, there was no risk. Like, she was willing to even give me whatever I wanted. Like,
I
it
meant like risk
it's
of the
just like
family going wrong.
I just couldn't do that, because not that it's wrong, because I have done that. Like, when my mom's partner, like, I mean, he wasn't my dad. My mom and dad had split, but
Yeah,
he was there for 30 years. You know what I mean? Um, my mom gave me a bunch of stuff there. I said no at first, have your yard sale and do whatever. And then whatever was left, like, there was things there that still had value. And she was like, take it, because she doesn't want it back in the house because she's just going to throw it out. So I did grab some of that stuff, but that was a little bit different because that was kind of my mom's. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's different. Like
That
when it
was
comes to my
different.
parents, it's all coming to me eventually, or my sister, anyways,
Yeah.
right? It's a kind of it's a little different. You
But
have to
when
be
I see my
careful there though
uncle,
too, because
and
you want to make sure your siblings are good because that can go bad too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, like they're 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 well to do. Don't like they've invested well and lived well. Um,
It's funny how people can fall out over little things. But
but
anyways, yes.
it was more of like she just didn't know she didn't want to throw out like anything that could have some value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the same thing I dealt with this last buy, right? She said the
Yeah,
exact same thing. I don't want to throw out anything that has value. And I don't know, not me, but her. She doesn't know what has value, right?
yeah,
And that's a very difficult situation to be in because it's like anyone can do this work. This is not rocket science, but it is work. And, it's easier for her just to throw the stuff out. So,
yeah,
but,
yeah. And I don't think she's the type of personality that would throw out things of value. They're very thrifty. Like they've always. I don't mean thrifty as in going thrifting. I mean thrifty as in wise with their money. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
It would be no different than sitting there burning a dollar bill, and that's not them. They've done very well throughout their life, and worked hard, did the right moves and everything. I just, I think a lot of the conversation came from my mom, and she called me and asked if I could help out, and I was so happy to be able to do that. Like
yeah.
we sat and probably talked for 2 or 3 hours after we looked at everything. Just sat there, had a couple drinks, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was good to visit, and sometimes you should do that. You don't do that enough until things like this happen, and then you know
I know.
it is what it is. But anyway, um, so I was dealing with that yesterday too. But I guess we're going back to maybe that's why I had that feeling like, am I doing the right thing? I don't know if that was part of it or whatever. But anyway, um,
It makes sense. Like that's how I kind of felt like, with these private picks is I don't want to accidentally rip someone off either, right? That's why I'm worried about that stuff. Because like for me, it's not really about the money either, but at the same time, that's the game that I'm playing, right? So
yeah, I
there's
don't
risk.
think you're ripping people off. Like I
No,
see
no,
it
no.
differently than you. I think you're helping them. You're clearing the stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're very, I wouldn't call them minimalist, but they're very clean. Nothing is out of place. Everything has a place, and you wouldn't find a room with boxes of stuff. You wouldn't see that there. You know what I mean? They're not minimalist, but they're very organized, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a proper word? Like, you know, um, so I don't know how to say it. Like you go through there and there's not much in each room. Like you got a dresser, you have a lamp, you have maybe a statue or something, and that's it. Or you know what I mean? Or a photo or there's one room where they have a nice bar and everything, and there's a collection of stuff in cases that were made in the wall, like it was made to hold this collection. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It looks amazing, but I'm just saying that I don't think you're ripping people off. Yeah, I think you're helping them out, especially if they're the opposite of that. Especially if they have a basement full of boxes, full of stuff, and they just don't know what to do. I think you're helping them out.
I think so too. I don't get me wrong. I don't say I'm ripping them off. I'm saying accidentally ripping someone off is not what I want to do, right? Because that can easily happen. That can easily happen.
Well,
But
I mean,
I'm as I have more experience, I'm less worried about that.
yeah,
Especially as time passes between the buy and now, right? Because like with the stuff, with this woman here, right?
yeah,
I felt like underpaid, but now as time is going by and I'm absorbing it, realizing how much work is here,
yeah,
I feel less bad because it's like, okay, yeah, I paid maybe because I like to pay like 30%, like in terms of like that's a fair amount to me, 35%. but in this case, it felt like it was lower. But as time goes by and I'm looking at this stuff, it's more like it's gone from like 15% I paid, right, or 20% up to 25, and who knows. But you know, it can like, because I'm guessing too when I'm there, right? Like I have Barbie stuff, right, and none of it's high end Barbie stuff as far as I could tell. I just threw it in a box, and that'll get taken care of at some point in the future. Maybe it's all garbage, but maybe there's something good in there, right? I
Yeah.
don't know until I've done the work.
Until yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
The oh, what was I going to say? You said something. I was going to comment on it. Oh, if you ever find something that was way valued more than you thought, Carl, you can always go back to them and give them money.
yeah, yeah. I always tell them that too, eh?
I don't
I
say
said,
that.
I
I
what
don't
did I
say
say?
that
I always
anymore.
say this. I said, if I find anything here that's worth over $1,000, I'll come back. But then I said also, and just so you know, that's never happened.
Yeah,
It's never happened,
of course
right?
not. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
Nudge,
yeah.
nudge.
If I did, I would go back. But I have
Yeah.
never found anything worth over $1,000, and I make it a huge number like that, right?
If I
Like
find something in here that's $1,000, I'll be back.
on the dot. Yeah,
But I found something that was two thousand four
yeah,
hundred and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fifty-five dollars, and I didn't go back because I didn't lie. I said it. If I find
yeah.
something in here $1,000,
Because like sometimes you'll like I haven't done this really, but you'll buy a jewelry box, and it's all junk jewelry, but at the bottom of it, they left in a gold ring by accident, right? I'll not go back for that, even if the ring was worth, a couple hundred, 300, right?
two
Because
hundred
that's part.
million dollars.
But if it's worth like $5,000, okay, well,
Yeah,
that's the
come
sort
on.
of thing that would bug me.
No.
But anyways, also the big difference, and we've talked about this before, but the difference is I'm not making my living this way. I'm not
Well,
paying my bills this way,
I
right?
I don't think there's a difference. I think you can justify it in your head that there's a difference, but I just I I honestly think you're opening up a can of worms to go back to. So let's
You
say
are, yeah.
let's say you found a Maud Lewis and you put it up for auction and you got $50,000 for a painting. And then you go back to him and say, "Hey, listen, here's 10 grand."
Yeah, they want 40.
Well, now you could be up for a lawsuit
Yeah,
that you weren't supposed to have that. We
you
should have
tricked
went through it
me.
a little more,
That
or
happens. Yeah.
you took that. We were wondering where that painting went. We want it back. Like, I just think you could be opening your I think it's better just to cut ties, right?
Yeah, why open the can of worms? Yeah.
Why open a can of worms? Because sometimes when you try to be nice,
Yeah.
it can backfire too, right? Like,
Yeah.
if they're opening to sell it and you buy it for what they're willing to sell it for, done. That's it. Done. So, it's like I said last episode or the episode before where, you know, there's other options they could take, right? They could have put it in an auction. They could have sold it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. They have all these options. They could do the option you're doing, selling it online, opening go to a market every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Those are their options. They chose this option. That's up to them. You're quiet, Carl.
Yeah, no, I'm just contemplating what you're saying. Yeah, and I agree with all that,
Right?
It's
So why are you doing this? Well, because you have tamed an interest over life and you've built a knowledge base that allows you to do this successfully. There is value in that.
100%.
But if you give your value away for free, I'm not saying to family. Family's a different thing. Or friends, that's different. But I'm saying to people that are opening their basement or those belongings through a yard sale, whatever. But if you went to every yard sale and say, "Hey, this is this,
Yard
this,
sales are
and this,"
completely different.
well, I I
in my opinion.
I'm just saying they can be different in different ways, but I'm saying if you're sitting there telling everybody what the values are and you're giving your obtained information for free with no effort, hey, listen, they can go on eBay, do comps, they can go do they can go I mean, the world's at their fingertips right now. They could go on Google, they can watch YouTube, they can find all sorts of resources out there to find values of items if they want to take the time.
Yep.
They chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
So I and you have taken our time to figure out values and what sells and what people are looking for collectors and stuff. That's a valued knowledge. You don't go to a lawyer and say, hey, I want your knowledge for free. I know you went for 7 years of university to be a
Yeah.
lawyer. I want that information for free. What's a lawyer going to do? Go pound salt. You know, that's no difference. No difference.
Yep. No,
Right?
I agree. Yep.
Right? Why do you pay a real estate agent to sell your home? I mean, people could ask why themselves, but it's why do you do it? Because they have advertisements, they have knowledge, they
Deal with the bullshit.
they deal with all the crap, right? And there's a price to pay for that.
Yeah.
Your option is to go sell it on your own.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to do that, but you're paying someone's knowledge. So anyway, that's how I see it. If other people see differently, leave a comment.
There you go.
But anyway, I don't know. We do kind of hit that topic quite a bit. I think there's a tug of war in all of us about whether we're doing right or wrong. I think I'm coming to accept it less and less that it is just what it is, and I don't feel guilty about it. I love finding stuff that surprises me, or finding, you know, that gold ring in the bottom of a box. You know what I mean? Like you had described.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're out there to do. You're looking for
I love
buried
that
treasure.
too, and that it happens on occasion, right? So
Yeah,
the
it's
good thing
not
too is
rare, but it's not often either.
yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually it's something you both missed. Usually, right?
Yeah, can be. Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I'll buy just a box of stuff and just hope that something in there is like that, right? And
Yeah, and sometimes you're taking a guess, just like you said. You like if you're buying a bunch of jewelry, you're hoping there's some signed jewelry or some gold and silver in there. You get your money back or more quickly, and the rest of the stuff just you have to sell off.
Yep.
So
what helps is having lots of stuff so I don't feel the need to buy. So I'm only going to take advantage of like good deals now. So
yeah, take advantage. Anyway,
answer the door if it knocks. How about that? The Barbie people never got back to me. If anyone's curious about that, so and that's okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what you want now, anyway.
Yeah, I don't need more shit.
Yeah,
but
unless they're going to drop their price by 50% from the.
Well, if they
last...
contact me, I'll keep a conversation going, but I'm not going to pursue.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
Anything else, Carl?
I don't think so. Like,
I mean, we hit tornadoes. We hit. Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Let's do the comments.
Hit the
you ready
comments. For that? All right. So we'll go to Spotify first. Do you want to hit the first comment?
Sure. Tina Mac. Another great episode. Thanks. I saw Sage briefly at the community yard sale this weekend, but no time to talk. It was peak sale time. Well, thank you, Tina, for knowing that, and Sage for knowing that. Is that when you're in that zone, we can talk later.
Yeah.
Right now is not the time to talk. The weather was finally great for a change. Thanks for telling the ghost stories. We live in a 175-year-old house and saw a couple here. Wow, 175. Yeah, that's old.
Yeah.
Never believed in that stuff before moving here. Yeah, that's what I tell people too. It's like you don't believe it until something happens to you, and then you're like, "What the f?" And then you have to like expand your beliefs, because it was all fine and dandy when someone else had the experience, but when you have the experience, that's different, right? That's why I knew agey, because I had something happened to me involving no one else but me, and I only had one thing that would actually convince me of anything, and it happened. And so it's like, okay, now I don't need to even explore it anymore, because now I have my personal beliefs, and I hope everyone has their own, in a positive way, of course. Don't get me going on UFOs. I have a story on those too. Yeah, the Pentagon just released a bunch of stuff, so it's a hot topic right now.
Yeah. And she made a reply on her comment.
I forgot it was a Randy show. Was it the Carl Centerfold? I know the story, but I'm not sure what the reference is.
Well, I forgot it was a Randy show. So that we usually say a Randy show because of the length of time.
Right. Or and Randy, and like the other word for horny is Randy. I don't know.
Oh, no, I forgot it was a Randy show. I think that's what she means there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we also have a longtime listener, probably from the beginning, Randy, Nova Scotia Celt. He comments on YouTube though, so they might. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right though. Randy, as in.
I think it's both. But
all right.
Thank you, Tina.
All right, thanks, Tina. And I have no problem if you want to throw in a couple of your experiences in the comments. We'll read them.
Oh, for sure. I like that stuff.
Like give us your scariest, most realistic, like what, like ghost story, and do the same for the UFO. And
That'd be awesome.
We'll read them for sure. We got Adam here, Adam Wakefield. Hey guys, just checking in. It's been a while. Glad you guys are doing well. Did you guys ever tell us? Yeah, Adam, it has been a while.
Yeah, good to see you back, Adam.
Yeah, good to see you back. Been a while. Glad you guys are doing well. Did you guys ever tell us how you met? I don't recall if you did or not. Well, we only really met for 20 minutes once in person.
Right. But virtually before.
It's always been virtually.
Yeah.
Kind of YouTube. Really, it was YouTube. And I think you were Chris's treasure chest. You watched him, and then we kind of started doing that live thing. Is that how that happened?
Yeah. So I used to watch Chris's treasure chest, and then you had the Sunday show.
Yeah.
I started doing some videos of my own on my own channel. I didn't do a ton, but I did a few.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a community, right? Of like names. And I talk a lot in chats.
Yeah.
So my name comes up a lot. And Carl the Lazy Reseller kind of grabs people's attention too. They usually find that's amusing. And then so I just talked in the chat, and then you invited me on, and then I came on, and that was it.
Yeah.
I don't even know when that was. At least 3 years.
We're like 8 hours away, 9 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in like Southern Ontario. So if you kind of if you just Google Port Dover, like, I guess now that I've moved to St. Thomas, it'd be Port Stanley. But we're basically right on the, half an hour from Lake Erie, where I am, and Carl's up near Ottawa. So,
yeah,
quite a distance away. But so everything has been through YouTube, really.
Yeah. And for about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a very strong, during COVID time, there was a strong online community like everywhere else for every other hobby probably. And so it was very active. So you had a group of people you knew doing shows and stuff like that, like Harry Homestead, or, a whole bunch of people like,
it's Humstone, not Homestead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But yeah,
sometimes listen to this show too. So Carl said that, Harry, not me.
But there's a lot.
I still keep in contact through Instagram.
Yeah, we're
Right.
good. We're friends on Facebook, but like it was very active. It's less active now, and some people disappeared, not in a bad way, but just
Yeah, I
doing other
still keep in
things.
contact with some of them through Instagram, like Justin and Marie. But there was Farm Girl Scavenger. Like I know I'm gonna miss people here, so I don't even know if I should keep saying names because if someone's gonna feel bad. But
And
there
Julie,
was a large community of people
yeah,
here.
who we regularly see, right? And
And not just on our shows, we see them on other people's shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
where's
And
Chop Chop? I don't know, right? Doing
oh
other
my
things,
God,
right?
Chop Chop. Yeah. He was from England.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that happens in any community, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's
Um,
it. That's how we met. That's how we started talking, and
so the thing about Chop Chop is his time difference. Like we started the show at 8. I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning for him.
yeah, 5 hour difference, I think. Yeah,
And he would still come on and and wait up
yeah,
just to hear our show. And sometimes our show would go for 2 or 3 hours. A
sometimes.
lot of times it was a couple hour show.
Yeah,
Kind of like this, really.
depending on the mood, and if we have something to talk about. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Um wow. Now that's almost kind of nostalgic and it's becoming vintage vintage
Yeah.
topic now, right? But
Any
yeah, so
communities like that.
yeah, so that's how Adam. Yep,
Yep.
same thing. So hope all's going well. Um, yeah, let us know how you're doing. Um,
Thank you, Adam.
yeah, good to see Adam, and thanks Tina Mac as well. So we'll go to YouTube comments on YouTube.
So I'll do Carver Man here. Serge.
Okay,
Great show, guys. Question: is there not a charge at the door for the buyer for the de minimis cost? Not if you use
Canada Post.
Canada Post.
If you go through Zonos, it's prepaid. It has to
Prepaid.
be prepaid.
Has to be. So with Canada Post, you never have to worry about the charge at the door for the de minimis cost of the United States.
However, if you use UPS or FedEx, there could be brokerage fees on top of the duties and taxes.
Yeah, UPS especially is much more stringent on stuff like that. So I actually had something delivered, I think by DHL last week, and it came from the United States, and there was no charge. I was shocked, because
Well,
usually it would be charged for that. So I don't know what happened there.
and I also remember too that we had talked about putting a sign that we pay for your duties and taxes
In the second picture, yeah,
or duties.
can't do.
I found a loophole where that could be an issue. Remember, I said that I wouldn't want to get caught up on that because if they still got charged, then you're kind of like responsible for that charge.
Yeah, and I was saying it should never happen if you use Canada Post.
However, what if they bought it through international shipping and then they get hit with duties and taxes and they said, no, you said you covered those?
Well, if they bought it through international shipping, all that stuff is prepaid.
But could they not come and say, like, you said that you would cover that? Or I guess they would, if they paid it. Yeah, I guess it's prepaid. So maybe it's not a loophole. Like,
I guess if they thought they were going to be compensated back somehow.
yeah. But I'm not going to do it. It don't matter to me now. So, but it's,
Yeah,
you know,
I just think it was an interesting option or interesting thing that someone did.
yeah.
I don't know how effective it is, right? In terms of getting sales.
Yeah. I would just be concerned that it gets turned back against you somehow.
Yeah, and then I said, like, I can't even see how that would even happen. And if it did happen, I'd probably just learn a lesson and then compensate them. But like, I don't even know how that would actually happen if you shipped it with Canada Post. because it should be impossible.
Well, if you ship it through Canada Post,
Yeah.
there should be no issue.
Yeah, and that's all I would offer. I wouldn't offer.
But yeah,
Well, I wouldn't ship it a different way either, right? Like I'm not going to say don't worry about the duties and then ship it UPS, like because obviously that's going to backfire, right?
yeah.
So,
Well, you never know.
well,
I,
you'd have to be pretty dumb then. I blame the seller if you're going to ship it UPS and then shocked if there's an issue, right?
dude, I don't know about you anymore.
What do
Like
you mean?
you're that type. I don't know. Scam people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hope this all gets like. I know it's a dream, but I hope it all gets fixed at when you buy something at checkout. I mean, right? And it's done
Yeah.
all for you. I think everyone wants that, to be honest, because no
Well,
one wants BS.
if Canada Post and Zonos and eBay can kind of collaborate and come up with something,
Yeah, and it's bigger than that. I think it really is the. I think it was called the UNPS or like. There's a universal postal system, and they talked about fixing this on their end. So what would happen? Because you don't want each country figuring this out for each other country if they're shipping to that country, right? Like, because then it's like that would be extremely complicated. You want a central source dealing with this for all
well,
countries, right?
listen. Let me ask you this way: when Canada buys something,
When Canada buys something,
when Canadians
okay,
and it's imported, and
yeah,
you've done this,
yeah,
what would you suggest be done so that there's no surprises at the door?
it be paid in advance when you're at checkout.
So that would be how you would prefer it.
So prefer. So here's the thing, right? To
No,
my
I just
I'm trying to answer the question, right?
okay.
My little asterisk is when I bought that Roman coin, right?
Yeah,
I didn't charge any duties at all. So that was a big advantage, right?
right.
And if I got charged at the door, I was expecting it. So it wouldn't have been a surprise because I knew that was a possibility. It's when
Right.
people don't even know it's a possibility and don't know the true cost of what it can be, right?
Yeah, but you
That's the unknown, and
you
that's why.
bought that Roman coin because you're not going to be able to buy that Roman coin here. But as a competitor, where they can buy a $100 item from Canada, or they can buy that $100 item from the US, but as a Canadian, you want to sell it to that person in the US because they're the major buyer. As a Canadian expecting to pay, how would you want to see it invoiced to you before, like what would entice you to buy?
Well, I'm getting a little confused because you were talking about selling to the United States, and then you were talking as a Canadian buying in the
Okay.
same example.
The whole thing is a buyer. I don't care. All I know is that Canada has always had $20 or less, so it might as well be to zero. So we're expecting to pay a fee. We're expecting to pay a fee, right? A duty, right? So as a Canadian, or sorry, as a buyer
In
that
Canada,
has experienced this for years, I don't really buy anything from anywhere, so it doesn't affect me, but you have. So as a buyer, like I know what you're saying, well, sometimes you get charged, sometimes you don't. So I'd rather just take the opportunity. But let's just say you're expecting every time you're going to be charged that duty because by law you should be charged that duty.
yeah.
So if you're charged that duty, how would you like to see the invoice and the payment before you buy it? Like, what would make you satisfied so that there's no scary knock at the door where you owe $150 and you owe brokerage fees or duties and all
Right,
these
right.
things? Like, how, as a buyer, not as a, it's not
What,
necessarily Canadian. We are Canadian and we've been dealing this for years. That's why I'm saying us. But the Americans, this is kind of new. How would you like to see it dealt with if it was always going to be there.
As a Canadian,
Well,
I think
as a buyer, Carl,
well,
I'm
yeah,
only
but
saying Canadian because
that's important part.
we
I'm trying to answer your question, but that's important part of the question that you're answering, right? Or asking. I mean,
it's not important. You're buying something with imported duties
yes, I'd rather see it at checkout.
before it comes to the door.
Yeah, because then you
Okay,
know what you're not no surprises.
right. So how to streamline that? How to get that streamlined? Now we're going to bounce to the seller. How can it be streamlined easy for the seller to provide that information?
Well, that's
It,
why. Okay, so the answer to that, right?
what?
As a seller in any country, right, to
Yep.
any other country, what the seller doesn't want to do is figure out the rules for each 300 countries there are, right, or how
Right.
many countries there are, right? What they want, and this is what they're talking about, is there already is a central organization for postage throughout the world. There already is
Yeah.
an organization. It's been around for 120 years or 130 years. It already exists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were on the Zonas podcast
Yeah.
already. They had them on and they were talking about this problem, right?
Right.
Because what you don't want is each country having to figure out the rules for all 300 or 200 other countries because they change all the time, and number two, it's hard, right? And
Yeah.
it's not
I
just
think we're
one
going.
country dealing with 200 countries; it's 200 countries dealing with 200 countries. Like it's a lot of work to keep that system in place. So here's
Yeah.
the solution,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Is when something sells, you know which country the seller is in, and you know which country the buyer is in, right?
Yeah.
That information would get sent to this UN organization,
Yeah. New World Order. Yeah.
whatever you want to say, right? This
Yeah.
postal organization that's existed for 120 years,
Yeah.
and they would give you that figure back, that
Okay.
number.
So on a non one world order,
Right.
you know, like I think I'm more into sovereignty. I don't have a problem with each country having their own system. All I'm saying is that when that country buys something, that it's streamlined through eBay and the shipping department of the country that is shipping it out.
And I'm saying
And
that's
I think we're
I
a step there. I don't think we need to go
completely
to a
disagree there.
one world
Okay,
organization.
leave the one world organization to the side for a second.
You said that. What I'm saying is Canada's already there. We have Zonos and we have Canada like Canada Post. We just have to kind of combine the three pieces with eBay, and then we're
Yeah,
there. We don't
but
need one
my
world
point being,
organization to come in here and tell us what we need to do.
right.
Right? I
Well,
think the
the
government.
reality of real life,
I didn't vote for government of another organization
I'm sorry,
outside of
everyone. I'm
Canada
sent off
to run the rules.
tinfoil hat Scott here.
I vote for Canadian politicians to make the rules within Canada, not an organization outside
All
of
I want to
Canada
do
to
is
make.
ship my Funko Pops. That's
Yeah,
all I want
exactly,
to do is ship my Funko Pops. Okay. So
exactly.
leaving aside all that stuff, it is not
You're the
up.
one that brought in this outside
Well, you're asking the
entity.
question. I'm trying to answer the question. It's not eBay's responsibility to figure out the import regulations for all the countries in the world. It is
Well,
not
you
their
can say
job.
that, but if people want to feel comfortable buying and selling, it is up to that platform to make
No,
the system
no.
easy and streamlined in order to obtain more customers and sellers. They make their money by making it easy. That's why they constantly tinker around with things to make it more
Well,
streamlined and easy.
and that's EIS. But EIS is extremely expensive to run.
Well, I mean, you could say it's EIS, and that is an element of it, but there's also Canada Post. Like
And
all this is relatively new, Carl. It's not even been a year. It hasn't even been a full year.
what a mess it's been.
29th is a year.
Right.
So I'm sure there's things in the background, but all they have to do is kind of combine a Zello, a Zonos platform with eBay. Like it's no different than using Stallion Express. You know what I mean?
eBay is
But
not in the shipping is not into the shipping business.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Well, they are in the shipping business. They print you. They give you a label. They have connections with. They've gone so far as to make great shipping rates with
Right.
Canada Post.
But they're
They
not shipping. They have integrations with Canada Post. Huge
right,
difference.
right. So if you want to use the word integration, they should integrate Zonos with your Canada Post. So what happens is
But see, there you go.
if
Canada
you
Post needs to integrate with Zonos,
well,
not eBay.
how
eBay,
however it works, I think Canada
well,
Post is integrated with Zonos
it is to a certain extent,
to a certain
but
extent.
but it doesn't allow eBay to go through Canada Post and then Canada Post goes through Zonos. That's not possible.
Okay, so when you click on selling your item through Canada Post, does it go through eBay or does it direct you to Canada Post website?
Say that again.
When you get a shipping label through Canada Post on eBay, do you
Yeah,
get transferred over to the Canada Post website or do they print you a label within the eBay platform?
they print you a label, but that's domestic.
Well, it before August 29th, it wasn't.
That's because it changed.
Or that's what I'm saying.
And
That's
but
exactly
that's
what I'm
my
saying.
point. Canada Post pre
But
that date. Wait, Canada Post pre that date had a system where you could buy international shipping through the integration at Canada Post, right? So all eBay does is they send out an API call to Canada Post
right,
with all the information, and it gets back a label, right?
right,
But when August happened, right?
yeah,
They do not have an API that allows you eBay to send the information to Canada Post for non-domestic shipping labels. Only
right.
domestic still works. So
So
it's not up to eBay to fix that. It's
if
up to
they could
Canada Post.
integrate Zonos and Canada Post within their system, because now that there's a new step as of August 29th, I think if eBay can integrate Zonos with the Canada Post so that you can do it all within the platform, I think that would be a lot easier because then you could just
Oh, I agree. I
everything
love
can
that too, but it doesn't exist.
so Zonos is going to get their cut and everything's going to happen right there on the platform and you can print the label.
I love that too,
Yeah,
but that
that's all I'm
still is not.
saying. Well, so
Yeah,
we
but
don't
that's
need a
still
new
not. But
world
to be clear,
entity government thing rejigger
but,
from.
but to be clear, that's still not eBay's fault. That's up to Canada Post
I
to
never
make.
said it was eBay's fault. Never said it was eBay's
I
fault.
was saying it's not up to eBay to fix that because they have no control over that.
Okay, but it's not. We're going in circles here.
I don't
It's
think
not.
so.
It's not up to eBay to make sure that we have options through FedEx, UPS, and Canada Post. But they did do that.
Yeah, because those were given to them by those separate companies to be able to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, and
But if
and
but
it
if
was.
it, like
It's not
with
up to eBay to make sure our shipping is very cheap with Canada Post, but they did that too.
but
And
that's
you
the
can
deal they
only
made through their agreement with Canada Post
right, yeah. But why are they doing that?
to get us better deals. But I'm not sure
Help
how.
us to streamline it to make sure that it's
Yeah,
better for the buyer and therefore it's going to be better for the seller and it's going to be cheaper
yeah, but that still
and
has nothing to do with Zonos.
it's going to increase sales
I agree.
and sellers and buyers.
I agree.
So if they can integrate Zonos into that, because now Zonos is a thing here in Canada, it is
Yeah.
a thing. I know it's changed, so I'm thinking eBay could change. They don't need to, but if they wanted to make
No,
it easier
no.
and better, I think
Yeah.
that would be great if it could all be integrated into one, and I can still get my shipping label through
Right.
eBay. Because
I'm not
actually,
saying I'm not saying it wouldn't be great because I agree. I'm just saying eBay can't fix that because the Zonos integration is not with eBay; it's with Canada Post. It's up to Canada Post to fix that and then
come on,
allow that in the
dude,
API call.
dude.
Right.
It's something to work out. Is it set up like that now? Of course not. And that's why I'm saying it would be nice if they could set that up.
Oh, I agree. It would
Right.
be awesome. I'm just saying eBay has zero ability to fix that. It's all on Canada Post side to fix that.
Okay. Did eBay have the responsibility to make sure that we have a thing called expedited light, which is only through eBay? You can't get there on Etsy or anything else. You can't go to the post office. In fact, if you go to a post office and you say, "Hey, I'm shipping this expedited light,"
Yeah,
they're
they'll
going
look
to
at you
say,
funny.
"We have no clue what you're talking about."
Exactly. Because Canada
Because
Post offered that to eBay through
I
their
think,
API call.
why didn't Canada Post offer that to Etsy too?
You have to ask Etsy.
Because I think eBay is the one that got that into the system. They've
I agree.
probably went to Canada Post and said, "This is our situation. We could be selling and shipping a lot more if you could do this."
But it was
Canada
still up to
Post,
Canada Post to
right.
enable that on their side.
So instead of me standing in line with 15 pieces of paper,
Right.
making sure that it gets correct to its correct destination for these 5 to 15 items, whatever I go in there with,
Yeah.
holding people up behind me, if it could be all integrated into the eBay system to make it faster and quicker, so then I can go back to just slapping a label on a parcel, taking it to the post office,
Which
dropping it
is something
off,
we all want. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it would be also in Canada Post benefit to do that as well. Um,
I agree.
so what I'm saying is, and I'll go back to the very beginning, it would be nice to have Zonos, Canada Post, and eBay integrate this into the eBay system so it's streamlined.
I agree. I'm not
Right.
disagreeing with any of that. I'm just saying that eBay can't fix it. It's impossible for them to
Well,
create that. That's
eBay can't give us expedited light shipping either.
they didn't. They got and Canada Post had to do it.
Canada
Canada
Post
Post
had to
had to
sign
fix
off
it.
on it, but they were probably approached, and they had to have been approached by eBay, and then eBay had to, with Canada Post authorization, of course, without question, and they had to allow this expedited light parcel to be integrated into eBay.
Yes, but Canada Post is the one that's actually doing that work. Like all eBay's doing is sending a call to Canada Post, right? That
Carl,
sends the information,
right,
and then Canada Post processes all of that and sends back a label, right?
all
That's
right,
it.
right.
So
So okay, maybe I'm having a tough time getting my point across. But let's
maybe
say Zonos. How does that work?
Canada Post sends information to Zonos, the app, probably with
I
like
I
when
I
you
think I think it's the opposite.
or is it
I,
Zonos sending it to Canada Post? I can't remember.
yeah. So
So
what happens is I go to Zonos, I put in my information of the package only, nothing to do with Canada Post, other than you have to pick who you're shipping it with, and is it a gift or standard package?
so you
Those are
said
the those are
so
the
with
things that, let me finish.
okay,
Those are the
I have
things
a question there because it's
they
important.
require.
Yeah.
So, but what I do is I put in that information of the package. They give me a QR code. When I take it to Canada Post has no knowledge of this package whatsoever until they scan that QR code. Once the QR code is in, then they realize that in fact, if I wait more than 5 days, that QR code no longer is relevant. Like I have to re-enter this into the system. So there's a limited amount of days that QR code is good that I have to ship that item. So they scan the QR code, that information comes up in their system, and then I put in the shipping information with Canada Post, pay them, I've already paid Zonos online. Now I pay Canada Post for the shipping label, which is more than going through eBay because eBay's got these greater, better deals. So I'm actually paying $3, $5 more.
Yeah, you're talking pre any of this stuff. It was
But
shipping.
this is a shipping label through Canada Post. They slap it on there and it's gone.
Yeah,
Nothing about Zonos is on that label, other than obviously the information, which Canada Post has to re-enter that information anyways. They always
that's the
ask, is
QR
this a
code. Yeah,
gift or is this a sale? They have to answer that question. Then they'll ask, they'll have to get the person's address that it's being shipped to. Then they want to know, is this tracking? And then they want to know, do you want extra coverage? Like, so if I take something that's $150, I don't want more coverage on that than the standard 100. If something is $30, well, then it's no longer able for the $100 coverage. They have to put that in. It all takes time. They have to do it right there at the counter. You know, I can do it online, but it's a rigmarole, and I'm not going to sit here and waste 15 minutes of my time to do it online. I'm going to take it and let them fill it in. You know what I mean? It can waste their 15 minutes. So, so what I'm saying is that it would be beneficial for everybody. Like, first of all, I can't tell you how many times I go to the post office and the elderly people that don't really have computer skills come in. I want to send this to the US. Well, do you have a Zonos app? What's a Zonos app? Like, it's a whole rigmarole, and they end up walking away because they have no Zonos app. They don't know how to do it, and they can't ship their parcel. Like, that is a huge, like, and they get frustrated
yeah.
when,
Of course, it's a huge mess.
well, it's it's an easy process, right? So you just have to know how to do it and have to do it a couple of times. And you can say it's a huge mess, but we figured it out here.
Yeah, but I remember you
Our
complaining about
mess has been
Zonos.
here all the time.
Right.
Our mess has been here, like, as far as I can remember. We never had $800 de minimis. Like,
When you mean
so,
mess, you mean pre-August?
well, what do you mean by mess?
Well, I mean it's complicated now, where before it was easy.
Well, it's easy because they had a huge de minimis. They've now closed that off, equal to us. You know, they've just become equal to us.
Well, apart from DPP,
What do you mean?
delivered uh,
Yeah,
prepaid.
because well, only through Canada Post.
No, DPP is on the American side.
Delivered prepaid is what you're saying.
Yeah, the duties have to be paid in advance. If
It's through
for
only through Canada Post.
no, it's throughout the world to go to the United States.
Well, okay, I can go and ship it UPS without prepaying.
Through the postal system, I meant,
That's what I said. Only through Canada Post does that happen.
or England, or Spain, or wherever. If it's going to the United States through the postal system, it
Okay,
has to be paid DPP.
right. I see what you're
That's
saying.
the issue. That's what's caused all this mess. Is
Well,
that?
I don't care. I don't care what England has to do. That doesn't affect me one bit. I'm only
Yeah.
worried about Canada Post.
But my point being, DPP isn't a Canada Post creation. It's the United States postal system creation. That's why it has to be done.
Yeah, but I mean, it
And that's why
doesn't
donuts are
have to
good.
be if you want to ship it through UPS or FedEx.
But
It
then it's not through
only
the but then it's not through the
if
postal
you go
system.
through your country's postal system, then it has to be done. But
Yeah.
there's an easy process. I mean, Zonos isn't complicated. It's just time consuming.
I remember when you didn't want to use Zonos at all.
What's that?
You didn't want I remember when you didn't want to touch Zonos.
I don't want to use Zonos.
But before you actually used it, I remember you were resisting that left and right.
Yeah, because I didn't understand it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
my
well,
point.
but
That's
once you learn it, it's actually very easy.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Carl, What I'm
Yeah,
saying is, if they
right.
integrated that system within eBay so that you could get all that information through eBay, whether it's another step or whatever, as long as you didn't get directed to another website, if it was all integrated, I'm saying that would be the cat's ass.
I agree. I've always said yes. I want that too. I never disagree with that. I'm just saying eBay can't fix that because it's not their system. It's not their software that has to fix it. It's on Canada Post side that has to fix that.
Okay, so we're all doomed. It's never going to happen.
No, Canada Post needs to do this.
But Canada Post doesn't probably give a shit until eBay brings it to their attention and they work on it together. Canada Post can't go into eBay and do the system. They can't change
Yeah,
their system.
I agree, but it has
So
nothing to
they
do.
have to work together.
Just like when you went and shipped that item, like
What is integrated mean?
it means like the two systems talk to each other.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But my point being, right?
Right.
Like when you ship that item and you went to the counter, right?
Yeah.
And that item sold through eBay or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you had the Zonos app there and you had Canada Post, right? Those are the two systems that need to talk back to eBay to allow that integration. It's
Well,
not up to how does eBay fix that? It can't. Like it has
they
nothing to do with
could.
Zonos,
They
right?
could.
No, it can't because it's not their system. It's someone else's system that they have to talk to.
Well, if they're already talking, I'm done with this conversation. In my
Okay.
mind, if they're talking to UPS, if they're already talking to FedEx, if they're already talking to Canada Post, the ability to talk to Zonos should not be an issue. And they have to work it out with that other company, no
Well,
question. They can't tap in, but if those two systems can work together and integrate it with Canada Post, that would be great. And maybe, and I'm going out on a limb with a big maybe and not a guaranteed, but I'm saying maybe there's a way Zonos could tap in with, and not that it's necessary, other than as a seller if we want to give lower shipping rates, but maybe there's a way Zonos and UPS and Zonos and FedEx could integrate with each other, same as Zonos has done with Canada Post. Like Zonos and Canada Post had to integrate their system together in order for that to work. Is that correct?
yeah.
Okay. So all they need to do is take those two guys that have compromised. Canada Post and eBay has already integrated together. So now the three of them can get together, have a
No.
coffee, and integrate.
No. I know you don't want to have the conversation, but I'm not going to agree because that's not how computer systems work. So, and UPS and FedEx will never integrate with Zonos because there's no DPP when it's not a postal system. So it's not even
Well,
related.
I said a big maybe. I don't know how they work, but maybe they
That's
can
my
do that
key.
too. That's kind of a side note. I didn't even
Right.
mean to really bring that into the play.
Right. I'm
But
just saying to understand, you have to know what's going on. And that's why I
I
keep,
do know what's going on. I've watched all the Zonos episodes and everything as well. And do I want a one world organization postal entity that I didn't vote for? No, I don't even like the one we have voted for. So I'm not into that.
okay.
So anyway, that's who got us into that. Carver Man?
Thanks, man.
Anyway, this is another Randy
The
show.
men in black are coming to Scotty's door any second now.
Why? I pay my duties and taxes. You're the one that didn't pay the duties.
Yeah, I tried. My fault they
You
didn't come to the
didn't
door.
try. If you wanted to, there's ways to do it. Hey,
I'm sure.
hey, government, I didn't get charged for this.
Oh,
So they're knocking on your door.
there you go.
Oh, what's that?
That's okay. I worked for the government. They let us go scot free.
Scott free.
There you go.
All right. I don't even know. You know what? Everyone in the comments, let us know what you think. We're gonna get lots of comments on this next
We
week.
never do when we ask that. No one ever. Everyone's
No.
smart enough not to say anything.
They stir the pot and let it simmer. Just let it boil. All right. It's a Randy show, Nova Scotia count or count. It is a Randy show. This one seems to be a Randy show as well. Randy show, if anybody's new, is one that's long because Randy likes the long shows. All right, you reading the next one?
My
Oh,
new.
we're gonna skip it. I just saw a word in there that.
Oh, I didn't see that one until right now.
All right.
I picked a random different one.
Oh,
My favorite new slogan: "There's no quilt in reselling." Was it a slip of the tongue last episode? I might have missed it. Next one.
there's no quilt in reselling.
Yeah,
Did we say that?
yeah, maybe. I would have thought, or he mistyped it. There's no quitting and reselling. I don't know.
Now
I'm
I
not
got to
sure what the
listen to the
reference
whole
is.
show again.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to listen to it again because I want to find out. There's no quilt in reselling. Huh.
Carl, we are so proud of you for how you managed the private pick. Now buy a Tacoma truck with a custom built cap, black on black.
Nice.
You also need a sweaty baseball cap. Oh, don't you hate when that happens when it gets all sweaty? It's greasy.
Well,
And then
he's
and
got
then
the
you
right
wash
truck
it.
there.
What? Not with the truck?
Yeah. Come on, Carl.
Okay, sorry. I'm
You're
trying to
halfway
keep
there.
up.
You have to give up this global world order and then a
Oh
pickup
my
truck.
god.
I know. See, this is why we live 8 hours away because like Carl would like throw something at me.
We can only fight so much over this.
We're not fighting. How are we fighting?
Or me telling you how the world actually works and you thinking how it works there. How about that?
Oh my god. I know where certain groups are trying to take it. Put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, okay. Last one from Randy. I was
yeah.
thinking of using Zonos for certain items that used to sell well to the states, but it seems to be neither thing with EIS. I'm finding a lot with that EIS. I'm actually getting questions about how much duties are and all that kind of stuff. The
Oh,
one I
sorry.
hate is, can you lessen the shipping? And I'm only charging $10, but I know what they're talking about, and I just can't like lower the shipping. Shipping is expensive. Well, it's because they went through EIS. I don't know if you get any of those questions, but
I don't get any questions, but sometimes, like I sold a magazine this week, and those I shipped myself, but they went through EIS, which is so much more. So I am curious, but I didn't get a question. It's just that it's costing them more money. It's actually cheaper for me, but and it's actually
um,
easier for me too. I don't have to deal with the Zona
yeah,
stuff
you don't
at
have to
all.
deal with
So
anything. Um, to the states, you're totally in EIS or totally out.
well, you can do both. Like I offer both.
Well, I offer not to do EIS, but someone bought a GI Joe set from me, and it went EIS.
Yeah, just like I mentioned with the magazine, same thing.
Yeah,
I offer both, but
yeah,
they
I
pick
offer.
EIS.
Yep. So, but I definitely offered. Like, it's not like I offer EIS. It's offered. It's just offered through eBay. I just didn't opt out of it. So it's just there by default. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
offer to the US direct shipping now. But I prepay. I don't advertise it, but I'll prepay the if they message me, I tell them. But um, I prepay through Zonas the duties.
Yeah, that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Because
So
like for the magazine, right? Like I know that there's no duties on magazines, and so it costs them nothing. But the customer in the United States doesn't automatically know that. So they probably picked EIS, which is a higher cost because they didn't want to deal with duties at the door that they might think they were going to have to pay, even if even though they didn't have to. So it cost them for nothing to be
so
honest.
I'm actually gonna maybe agree with Randy in a roundabout sort of way. Follow me here, Carl. Tell me if you agree. But maybe I should opt out of EIS because if they can buy through EIS, maybe I'm losing a lot of sales because people are finding it through EIS because that option is available, they're saying that's ridiculously high. I'm not paying that. So then they bypass my product altogether. So if I took away the EIS, they would be forced to buy it directly. I don't sell much outside of the US anyway, so EIS would be maybe beneficial to opt out of it because then there'd be no option. Like, how many sales am I
Well, they might
losing
not buy
because
it.
people do check through EIS on my item and it's way too expensive, so they pass.
Oh, I bet that happens a lot. But
So
they might not. You might not get
maybe
the
Randy
sale at
has a
all,
point
though.
here. You're either in or you're out.
Well, so to answer the question, right? Right now, you're offering both, like that
Yeah.
GI Joe.
Yep.
If and they picked EIS, right?
Yep.
If you took EIS off completely, right, it would only show your shipping, right? But then it would give them that warning that there might be duties at the door, and we don't have any control over that warning, right? So the person might look at your GI Joe and say, "I don't want to deal with that. I've heard of these horrible bills at the door," right? And they don't buy it at all.
I don't know.
Well, that would happen, right?
Well, I'm
But
sure, but what happens more?
the problem is we don't really know
We
because, like
don't
in your
know.
case with the GI Joe, right?
Yeah.
They picked the EIS version, right? If the EIS wasn't there, would they have picked yours or just not bought it all? We
Well,
don't really know,
that's a good point.
right?
Or
So
or would more people have been buying more stuff because the price was correct for them? And they would just message me like, "Do you know how much duties?" Because I get that message, and then they turn around and buy the item. Like, how much is duties? Well, I'll cover the duties. I prepay them before it's shipped out, and I only ship through Canada Post.
I
That's
bet
what I
you for
say.
every person who asks, there's at least three other people who don't ask and just buy somewhere else. But I'm guessing,
Yeah, it's a guess, right?
right? Like with the
I'm
GI
just
Joe,
thinking if I opt out of EIS for 2 months to give it a shot and just to see, could that could I get back into it just by opting back in, or do I have to be like,
I'm not
is
sure
there
how
a
that
waiting
works.
period?
The only thing, like if I really cared, I might set up a secondary account, which you're totally allowed to do with Canada Post. I mean, not with Canada Post, with eBay, and have one opted in and one opted out, and just start a secondary account. But I don't want to get into that shit. But you could
Yeah,
do that.
but it's a good point. It's something to think about. I never thought about it either in or out. I don't know if that's exactly what he's saying, but I mean, it would be another way of looking. You're either in or out. You know what I mean?
With
Because
them,
it
yeah.
could disrupt sales as much as it makes, like, more than it makes sales.
I'm
Because
just like, because like with that example that you just have with GI Joe, right? With that
yeah,
American,
yeah.
they had the option, right? With the EIS or you shipping it, right?
Well, did they? Did like an option is an option as long as you know there's an option.
Well, hopefully
Because
they saw it when they picked the shipping
well, but why would they pick the most expensive?
because they didn't want to worry about duties at the door. With EIS, they knew it was like this is how much you're paying, and that's it. There's no surprises. With the other one, there might have been surprise at the door. And eBay even warns them about that at the top there in that little fucking banner. Excuse my language, but
Hmm. But again, we're guessing. We don't know. We, do,
guessing what?
we don't know what would be more advantageous.
Yeah, we don't. That's the problem. Is we don't know. Like if like say you opted out of EIS, right?
Yeah,
That GI Joe person went to you and saw that you shipped it, right?
yeah.
Would they say, "Oh, I'm going to take the chance at the door," or just not buy it? Because like in the first case where you have both, right? They picked the one without the
No,
surprise.
yeah,
They
I
picked one.
understand
They
what you're
picked
saying.
EIS, right?
Yeah, no, I
They picked
understand
the
what
more
you're saying.
expensive one. So there's a lot of unknowns. Like what really I would like, and I don't even know how eBay would fix this, is say there should be another option, which is it will be delivered and you will never have to pay duties. It's up to the seller to deal with this, and that would be an option, right? And
Yeah.
then we get rid of that banner and get rid of the scariness for our American buyers, right? And that would
Well,
help a lot.
that would
But
be up. That would be up to eBay to do that.
yeah, yeah. The issue that's difficult for eBay is if you sell that item right on eBay within Canada, and then you take it over, you walk it over to UPS and ship it that way, right? There's duties at the door. So how does eBay know if you're going to use Canada Post or UPS? Because you don't have to buy your label on eBay. You can buy it at the counter. How does eBay control that? I don't know. Unless I guess they could say you have to buy it through Canada Post if you opt into this thing. They could do that, I guess. That might fix it.
I honestly, I think the I think psychologically it's already embedded in the American's mind. So it would take a long time, I think, for that to be undone, no matter what we do. Like I think the fear of the expense is already there. So
And that's why they pick EIS for you, right?
it's yeah, but I mean, like seriously, in all seriousness, like they can pick what they want, but most people once they see the EIS bill, like invoice, what it's going to cost them, they opt out of the purchase.
Well, they walk away. No, for sure.
And
That
that's
also happens.
probably happening hundreds of times.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
So I don't think there's a real fix. I mean, we're not going back. They're not going back. The only way, I mean, if we come up with some free trade agreement that there's no duties on both sides and goods can flow freely, which I don't see happening, but I'm just saying outside of that, this is here to stay.
I think I think the systems are fixable. You can this is a known quantity. This can be fixed. It just takes time.
Well, I mean, it can be
A lot of
tidied
time.
up, but I don't think the duties are going away.
Oh, that I agree.
Yeah,
But
that's
we
what I'm
can have
saying.
systems to deal with that.
Yeah,
We already do in a way. But
you know, if everybody integrates and streamlines it, makes it easier for everybody, it can be fixed.
yes.
However, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier, but I don't think the duties are going away, so that extra
No.
cost is still there, which
Yes.
is which is going to deter sales.
Oh yeah, there's no way around that.
Right.
But what we can get around is the unknown, the scary part. The am I getting someone at my door demanding money? That we can deal with.
Well, I don't disagree with that,
Yeah.
but that would that would be that would be an integration of the three entities that have to come together, and it has to be added and given to them before they make the purchase. And I personally do not think EIS is that answer because it's way too expensive. I
EIS
I
is a
I,
band-aid.
I think if EIS was the answer, we would have already found it to be the answer.
Yeah. And
Right.
EIS is a to be clear, is a band-aid. It's a
Well,
third-party system that's coming here to fix this problem, right?
it's well, it's
It's a private
eBay.
company.
I like I'm just thinking it's just way too expensive and it doesn't make sense. If you're selling something that's hundreds of dollars and rare, maybe it makes sense to them then. But I think for those 30 $40 items that they can get in the US
Yeah.
already,
No.
those that's done,
I agree.
right? So, anyway,
But what EIS provides is if someone does like your GI Joe or my magazine,
fear. It provides fear.
no, EIS provides a band-aid because like they bought my magazine, right?
Yeah.
They're willing to pay that EIS fee. I think it's crazy, but they did. So it gives them, at least they have the option to do it, right? It's not just like you can't buy it at all. You know what it's like? You know those reshippers in the United States, like they're usually in Jersey or something like that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, exact same thing, except this one's integrated through eBay. That's the only difference. Actually,
Well, if
it's
I
the
want to
same
agree,
exact thing.
I don't even know if it's a band-aid. I think those people are they don't they don't really have a care about money. They just want the object, and a lot of it could be an impulse, and they might look at the bill and they don't even care. Like, so I think those people are buying no matter what.
Yeah, and this lets them do it. Otherwise, the answer is they can't do it at all.
Well, they technically they could.
How?
They could get a knock at the door and have to pay whatever is given to them.
No, I'm talking about the buyer. Like,
Yeah.
if there's no EIS, right? You just don't ship there, and then they can't buy it at all.
Well, we could still ship there though. Like we could use UPS and whatever, right?
Yeah,
And if a buyer doesn't care about like they don't care about duties or expenses, they don't care. They just get it and it is what it is. Then they
yeah,
could
my
just use
company.
UPS and FedEx, and they're going to buy it no matter what setup there is.
Yeah, but I'm
But if
talking about
you're
I'm talking on the seller side. Like some Americans, like eBay sellers in the United States,
yeah
ship to nowhere but United States because they don't want to deal with any of it, right? What EIS allows them to do in the United States is still have international shipping, but they don't
oh
have to deal with any of it.
right
That's
right
so
I
if
see
you
what you're
were
saying.
right, so if you're
Yeah,
the buyer, you could either pay EIS to that American seller or not be able to buy it at all, which used to be the case. So it's
I
you
see what you're
know,
saying.
yeah.
Okay. Um, but I mean, as a seller wanting to sell to that other country, right? Like, and you open up to that other country, the buyer's going to see it whether you go EIS or UPS, FedEx. They're going to buy it anyway. Like, I don't think EIS is making the the buyer is attractive to the buyer as much as is
It's attracted to both, right? Like if
like.
I sold something to France,
Well,
right?
I don't know. Like, anyway, it doesn't matter. I think we're rambling on about something here that's
Well,
going to
we're definitely rambling on,
bore the
but it is
audience
interesting to
or
me. Like
nothing.
if you're that, like I've sold to France, right? Before all this happened, I didn't ship to France at all. But EIS allowed that person in France to buy something from me, so that's the advantage.
Right, but would they even know that item was there?
They would have
Or
seen it.
if it wasn't EIS, but you had like I think we're using a, a setup to describe two different things here because basically what I'm at is EIS like you called it a band-aid, but like is it beneficial to have if your primary buyers are from the US? Is it better to have it or is it kind of like what Randy said you're either in you're out so that if you opt out of using EIS is that going to make sales better? I mean, I think there's arguments both ways there and I don't think either one of us know the answer. I don't know the answer, but it is an interesting concept that I haven't thought outside of just like 10 minutes ago or less, reading his
So,
comment really.
so a while ago, like 4 months ago, with my magazines,
Yeah.
I purposely did not put the country of origin on my magazines because at the time, if you didn't have country of origin on your item, EIS would not work on those items. So on my magazines, if an American saw it,
Yeah.
they would only have the option of Canada Post, not EIS. And the reason I did that is my shipping directly to them and I knew there were no tariffs, right, on magazines, was a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah.
But they fixed that, so now it shows both. So
Yeah.
I tried that,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how effective it was because it was still in the problem area. Even though I knew there was no tariffs on magazines, the buyer in the United States didn't know that unless they were experienced.
And there's another thing here too. Like, I don't know if we've mentioned it enough or people know it, but through Zonos, there's a lot of things, especially if it's made in the US, but there's a lot of things that don't get any duties at all. Like on my GI Joe stuff, it says made in the US. There's a few accessories that are Hong Kong, Japan, but I still put made in US because it's GI Joe and it's vintage, and they don't get any duties on it, and I've had no problem. And that's through Zonos. That's Zonos calculation, zero duties. So keep, like, if it's made in the US or you put that down, like, who knows how long that'll last, and maybe there's an issue or a backup plan for that. But if it's made in the US, there's no duties.
Yeah.
And the people at the post
If
office will ask me, is this made in the US? Because a lot of people are saying that things are made in the US. They've said that themselves.
the opinions expressed by all members of this panel do not necessarily represent all the opinions of
I'm
everyone
just
on
telling you. I live in Canada,
the
but I'm just saying. I mean,
It ain't a crime if you don't get caught. It ain't
well,
a job if you
hey,
don't get paid.
how much did you pay for duties?
That's not my responsibility, though. That's the
Okay.
difference. I never lied.
I
Like,
never
this is
lied
when the
either.
other-
GI Joes are made in the US.
Do we have to? Anyways, we won't keep going. But it is a mess. Yes.
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to say, Carl. That's where I am.
Things are still moving. Unfortunately, who knows what changes are still afoot.
Well, and that's why I keep saying that I need to go out and do this part time and go find a regular job, because the things are changing so much.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. This is probably the most devastating, but there's other things like Canada Post strike and different a number of times. People waking up and their eBay stores shut down or Etsy stores shut down. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of things that can really hammer you hard. This is one we're working through, and it really hampered things, and it doesn't look like it's going to get back to where it was at all. But at the same time, it's like, how many times can you get beat up before you just say, like, dude, there's got to be something easier out there? You know what I mean?
And unfortunately, I don't have good news for you because it's going to happen again.
And at the end of June.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about Kuzma. I'm talking about
Canada Post strike.
No, I'm talking about the 10% thing. That was only a temporary thing that they.
I know, dude.
So I don't know if they can. I have no idea what the rules. I'm not even going to try to understand anymore because
I know there's something in the works. I heard it yesterday, and
right.
Yeah. So
this
is again. This is even more of a reason for me to do what I'm doing. Like, but I think Kuzma could have something crazy. I don't know what that is going to entail at all, but other than the economy, you know what I mean? It could really have,
it's
right. It could really have some like side effects that I can't even imagine right now.
That's
right?
Another train coming down the tracks. Yeah, there's a few trains on these tracks all coming out from different directions. So I don't want to be negative. I'm just saying.
No, but I don't think it's being negative to is foreshadow or
just be aware.
But you have to think of the future and prepare.
It's hard to prepare when you don't know what's coming. That's the hard part. Yeah.
Well, you don't know what it's going to look like, but you know something's coming.
Something's coming, and there's, like I said, there's more than one train coming down those tracks. So,
yeah.
But but we're pretty battered and bruised after the last train came through anyway. So it's like it's hard to be too concerned when you're already knocked out a
Well,
bit. But
anywho,
yeah, I think that's also the reason I've been putting so much attention into my booth. It's more of a known.
um, I'm gonna finish Randy's last comment here. By
Oh,
the way,
Randy, what podcast? We're not just
I used
yelling at
to
each
sell
other.
a lot of Coleman parts to USA in the past, but none now. Maybe a separate story just for Coleman. Oh,
Yeah, I have a few around here that I haven't felt like dealing with.
I
They're
talked to a
weird,
guy the
Coleman.
other day that said the
Yeah,
Coleman lanterns sell to Japan.
I've heard that too.
They said the Japanese. This was a conversation in person, and they said that the Coleman lanterns are very desired by Japanese,
I've heard
and
that
and
too.
they'll even
Yeah,
buy them for as gifts for their boss or things like that. Like
weird,
there's,
eh?
yeah, but
Was it
there's a
Harry?
demand for them.
I wonder if Harry mentioned that once.
I don't recall anyone. I've never heard that before that I recall.
Yeah,
But
I did hear that once before.
yeah,
Japanese have a lot of money and they're willing to buy. Yeah,
you know, I kind of I'd like to look a little bit more into the Japanese culture because they seem to be pretty interesting and efficient. I don't know. It's an interesting culture. You know what I mean?
hmm.
So, do you agree, or do you
Oh yeah, yeah.
any comments on that? Or
Just that it's been hard over there for like the last 15 years. They haven't, but they're very particular, but they also will spend money like cameras. Like if you ever look at comps, cameras get so much more money, and it's almost always because they're in Japan for some reason. So
I just know working for Toyota, they had a very it was sort of militant, but at the same time, it was more. It wasn't like I mean, you could call it militant, but that could be a wrong term. But it was very efficient, very
structured. Yeah,
everything has a place and
yeah.
and everything has a purpose, or it shouldn't be there, and everything needs to be cleaned and you know they put you to work where every second counts. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And they
We're
really, I mean, every car comes off every 46 seconds. A new car comes off, so they have your work set up to be done within 46 seconds, and then you start again. You know what I mean?
what was the Japanese? I think who came up with a just-in-time inventory method, which made a huge
Yeah, yeah,
change to the way
yeah.
all companies work. Right?
Every car is sold before it is built.
They don't have inventory sitting around either.
They don't have inventory sitting around,
Right, which is
and
good until things go bad. It
well, which
turns
is
out,
good till things go bad,
yeah,
and sometimes we'll be sitting around because there's a snowstorm and some truck
yeah,
is in Kentucky coming through north through a snowstorm and it's stuck somewhere,
yeah.
and you
Or
know,
COVID. COVID really showed the weakness of the just-in-time inventory method too.
yeah,
But
um,
when everything's good, it's great because then you don't have money sitting around doing nothing, right?
right. So I think I need to take a look at some of the Japanese systems here, Carl, because I got inventory out my yin yang, and it shouldn't be. I should be more
You have all that money just sitting there,
just sitting here.
wasting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy some. I'm gonna go buy some groceries with two Nintendo games and a train. What do you mean? This is as good as money. What do you mean I can't have
You
this
know the sad
Asian
thing is
brand?
this is all Excel sheet stuff that we're talking about. So
Hey, well, I can either give you this Roco locomotive for your steak or this Indian carving from.
now we're talking trade. Now we're talking
What do you
barter.
want, man? What do you want?
Barter.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Anyways, maybe a separate story just for Coleman. Oh, let's hear it. Let's hear it, Randy. I'm interested in that. Hearing that in the next comment.
Coleman, I haven't dealt with a lot because I'm a little scared of shipping that stuff if it still has like kerosene,
Well,
even
dump it
remnants.
out.
Yeah, but does it like I'm just paranoid, right? Like, what happens is
Dump it out, dude. It's empty. Open it up and let it sit. It'll just evaporate whatever liquid.
oh yeah,
Like
it doesn't leave like a
like
sticky residue in there or something.
no. then
No.
wash
Okay.
it. Then take some water and just rinse it out if you like. It's not complicated stuff.
You
It
know,
might
it's
have a
funny. I
little.
don't,
It might have some scent there, but I
it's
mean,
it's
you're
yeah.
gonna cap it up. Like it's fine.
Maybe I've never noticed, but I don't really see them at the market. But they must be at the market, like
I've got
kerosene lamps.
I've got 20, 30 at the market.
How are they doing?
They sell like probably one or two a month.
Because prices can be everywhere on that, eh?
I put them all at $45,
Even red ones and stuff.
all of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Harry's the expert on that.
Harry's the expert of that. I was wanting to be, but it just became a headache because there's so many parts, and this is why I haven't sold them online. Like if you actually go and see someone on YouTube, like restore them or test them and all this kind of stuff, it's such a headache because little parts could be rusted out that you don't know or missing, or there's just a
Yeah.
whole like basically I put my thumb over the hole and pump it up a couple times. If it hold pressure, then the seal's good. But a seal can easily be, changed out. So it's like, why even do that? You know what I mean? If somebody wants it, they're just gonna go buy a seal kit and fix it up. So it is what it is. You
I've
know,
sold the glass, just the balls.
yeah.
But I don't think I got like I think I got $30 or something. It
Yeah,
wasn't like a ton
I
of
don't
money.
think they're even heavily desired. I think people are right. They were at one time. I think it's come down. I
I
just think
wouldn't be
it's supply
surprised.
and demand, and I think the supply is out there, so the demand is feels low because there's just so much out there, right? But I mean, if the lights go out, those are good things to have, right?
I remember lighting one to test it. It scared the hell out of me. Because when you light that, have you ever lit one up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
You
we used to go
whoosh.
camping. We used to go camping and used it all the time.
They're
Like
hot
back
too.
in the '70s, my
Yeah.
when we camping, my dad would have those all the time uh, with us when we went camping. So
It was pretty intimidating if you've never used one before because
yeah.
it's loud and it's kind of, you're basically burning
Well,
gas, right?
you wonder how those little bag type those knitting things can hold so much heat and not like melt. Like
No,
it's just it doesn't make sense in a lot of ways. But
no. I've
I
sold those
mean,
too online. I remember I got a bunch of new in package and I sold those. So, but I don't think I got a ton of money again.
yeah.
Money.
But it does. I mean, it does make a big, and it
Oh yeah,
sounds very intimidating and stuff.
especially if you've never used one before in your life and you're just
Yeah,
used to like LEDs with a battery.
yeah.
This is not that.
No, well, no, it's not that. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think what would be more scary for fires and stuff is those, and they don't have big noises to scare you, but just the fact of a fire is those glass kerosene can like they're just glass. So if they fall on the floor,
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna it's
the
gonna
lamps,
break
the lamps.
the lamps.
Oh yeah, that's I would never. Yeah, I
Like
know
how
what you
many
mean though.
homes burn up back then because of that?
Yeah, you just knock it over and then all the oil goes everywhere with the flames and then you
Yeah,
got yeah, no.
right.
Yeah. I'm sure it happened all like half the fires that wiped out small towns are like some cow knocking over a kerosene lamp.
Yeah,
Like how many
like
times have you read that story?
yeah. You just wonder how how many homes burned back in the day.
A lot.
Back in little house in the prairie times.
Everything was made of wood too.
Like
Like
and then you got the black Donnellys running around. Like just grab a kerosene lamp, throw it through the window. It's really just what do you call those? What do you call those Molotov cocktails or whatever they
yeah,
call
yeah.
it, right? That's all it is.
Basically that.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I prefer little LEDs. They got those perfected now. Anyways, yeah.
oh well. All right, that's it. I got nothing else.
Yeah, we somehow went another hour
Well, you
discussing
did. I
APIs.
just listened.
So the word of the week is cherry blossoms. So it's the same one at the beginning.
Okay,
There you go.
there you go. Well, when we first said the show was over, back in the 30-second mark.
Yep.
Okay.
Another hour and a half and a bit. Of just
All
yelling
right.
from me.
Oh, all righty. That's
Perfect.
all I got. All right,
Perfect.
everyone, have a great week. Get out and yard sale. Hopefully, the weather's nice this weekend. Sell lots, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.